This A16 iPad is practically perfect. I've had it about 8 months now, and me and my whole family love this thing. It's powerful, it feels really great in hand. It's super affordable for what you get, so this starts at $349 or $329 with the education discount. That is phenomenal pricing. It's great for just sitting on the couch and reading through a book or consuming content. It also has really good accessories that you can get for it. The Apple Pencil USB-C is perfect for students and professionals. I'm a teacher myself, so I love using the Apple Pencil for lecturing and teaching math. The Keyboard Folio gives a great typing experience, and it lets you take advantage of those new multitasking features with iPadOS 26. Works great on this base iPad. And you can even add more accessories like a PlayStation controller so you can do some Xbox cloud gaming. I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 7 this week. It's pretty awesome and works great on this base A16 iPad. Hey everyone, Tech Dad here, and this base iPad delivers just about anything a person could want out of a tablet. It's thin, light, super portable, and when you connect it to its keyboard, it's kind of like a little mini laptop. And it's compatible with iPadOS 26, so you get a lot of productivity power in this little guy. And it really fits almost any use case. So my wife uses this iPad. My kiddos have requested iPads for Christmas, and this is the one they're getting. They love this one. It's just so affordable. It comes in really fun colors. It's just a really great iPad for a lot of people. But that being said, there are a few disadvantages to this iPad and a few sacrifices that were made by Apple when they put this one out. So it does have a few shortcomings that we need to discuss. And I don't think those shortcomings will be deal breakers for a lot of people, but for some higher end users, yeah, it might be a deal breaker. So in this video, we're going to discuss the strengths of this iPad that I've discovered after using it for 8 months. And we'll also talk about those weaknesses that may or may not be deal breakers depending on who you are and what you need to do. All right, let's get into it. All right, so what is this iPad good at? Let's start with that. So first of all, it does all the iPad things really well. So you're going to be able to consume content on this guy for hours on end. It's got a really good battery life, around 8 hours, and you can browse the web, you can read books, you can watch your favorite shows. It's Christmas time right now, so I'm binging through all my favorite Christmas movies. Christmas Vacation looks really good on this iPad. Never get sick of watching that. It's also really good at doing some mobile gaming. So it has the A16 chip, which is technically a phone chip, but it's still plenty powerful enough to do mobile gaming. So I run Call of Duty mobile on this guy. It works great. Screen looks good. Colors really pop. And everything is very fluid. There's no lag. It's really good for mobile gaming. And if you want to kick it up a notch, you can do some console level gaming on it. You can connect a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller and do some Xbox cloud gaming. And so Call of Duty Black Ops 7 just launched, and I was playing it this weekend on this iPad. It works great. This iPad has Wi-Fi 6, so it's really good at streaming games. Well, what about productivity, Tech Dad? Can it do productivity? Absolutely. So we just got iPadOS 26 this year, and this iPad is completely compatible with its features. And so you get better windowing control. You get incredible use with that keyboard and trackpad now. So you can open multiple windows, put them where you want on the screen. You also have better file management. So if I want to collect some files to make a PowerPoint presentation on the Great Wall of China, let's say, I can create a new file and then just drag and drop some photos into that file. Easy peasy. And then I can drag and drop those photos into the PowerPoint presentation. So you do have the Microsoft Suite on this iPad, and it works really well with iPadOS 26. Another great productivity feature about the iPad that you just don't get with a Mac is using Apple Pencil. So this iPad is compatible with Apple Pencil USB-C, and that is plenty of power to get you started. So you can take notes in the Notes app or lots of other apps that are available. I like the Notes app because I also teach math, and the Notes app will actually auto-solve problems for you. You can even define variables and give them a value and then crunch some math out based on those variables. It's actually really cool. Apple Pencil USB-C does magnetize to the top of the iPad as well, so that's really nice and it keeps you from losing the darn thing. So you really do have some productivity power in this iPad, especially for the price point. All right, so with all that being said, let's talk about the disadvantages and things that you're missing out on. And these disadvantages may cause you to want to bump up to the iPad Air or the Pro. So first, let's talk about the display. So this display has no anti-reflective coating on it, so it's got a lot of glare. Now the screen does look great, but if you have a lot of bright light in the background or sunlight, you're going to see a lot of glare. And you can see me here, I'm doing some gaming on this iPad, and you can totally see my reflection in it. So if there's not bright colors coming off the screen, you're going to see some glare for sure. So what you can do do to avoid that is turn the brightness all the way up, but then that chews through battery like crazy. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to be using your iPad in bright light a lot, there is going to be some glare and reflection. The iPad Air and Pro actually have anti-reflective coatings. All right, the second thing that I don't like about this iPad and is a weakness is that it doesn't support a secondary display. And a lot of people don't care about that. They don't even realize that their iPad can connect to a secondary display. But if you really want that bumped up computer functionality with iPadOS 26, this iPad doesn't do it. You need the Air or the Pro. So while it is a little mini laptop, you're not going to get another monitor hooked up to it so you can have multiple screens going at a time. Now, the third big disadvantages have to do with Apple Pencil. So if you don't even care about having the pencil, this is not going to be important to you. But if you do a lot of handwritten notes like I do as a teacher, this could be a big deal. So first of all, I don't like that there's no charging the pencil when you connect it to the top. So with an Air or a Pro, you can buy Apple Pencil Pro and it will automatically charge when you magnetize it to the top of the iPad. So my Apple Pencil is literally always charged. Well, with this one, you have to plug it in. So there's a little slot right here and you can connect a USB-C cable to your iPad and let it charge. It doesn't take long, but it's still just a little bit of a nuisance. In addition, there's no haptic feedback with the Apple Pencil USB-C, and so with the Apple Pencil Pro, you get haptic feedback and you get Apple Pencil Hover, which this iPad does not support. So when you're drawing, you can actually see your mark before you make it, and I'm showing that here with a highlighter. So that way you can actually tell how you're going to mark up the screen. I really like that feature, and that's on my iPad Pro. Another thing you get is Hover, kind of like mousing over something. When you mouse over something on a website, it kind of pops or highlights. The Apple Pencil Pro will do that, so you can hover over objects on a website and see where you're going to click. Well, Apple Pencil USB-C does not do that, and this iPad does not support Apple Pencil Hover. Again, those are minor things. I'm betting a lot of people are not going to care about that. There are some other major hardware differences, like you don't have an M-level chip, so you're not going to be doing high-end video editing on this iPad, things like that. But I feel like this iPad is for the casual user. It's for people like my kids, my wife. It's for grandpa to use on the couch. This isn't the iPad for doing some heavy video editing or doing big-time multitasking with a secondary display, things like that. So if those weaknesses don't bother you, I think you're going to love this iPad. All right, so that's my rundown on the A16 after 8 months of use. Let me know if you have questions about it. You can leave a comment below. I'm happy to help you out. That's all I got for you. If you like this sort of content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.